Hello, everybody. Final week of October 2015, and we've got a lot to talk about tonight with Lincoln Memorial University volleyball. The Lady Railsplitters improving their stock as the South Atlantic Conference tournament grows closer and closer. LMU women right now up into the 4 and 5 spot position, but they're in a log jam for that place. And there's still 5-6 matches remaining, I think, on the regular season schedule, only one of which is at home. The LMU soccer team still in the midst of their season. They'll play their final regular season matchups this Saturday when they host Catawba. The Railsplitters right now in the 3 position, while the Lady Railsplitters are fighting to make the tournament. So a very big match this weekend when they host the Indians at the LMU Soccer Complex. LMU cross-country teams ran last weekend in the SAC Championships. We'll tell you all about that and what's to come for them in the next couple of weeks in terms of the NCAA Regional, as Jeremy Donahue and his teams try to stretch their postseason appearances. We've got that, and of course, Krystal Evans, head coach of the Lady Railsplitter basketball team, coming up next here on the Railsplitter Athletics Report.
Whether it's breakfast, lunch, or dinner, Subway of Harrigan and Middlesboro has your fresh interest at heart. On your way to work, try one of our mouth-watering breakfast sandwiches or flatbread omelets. If it's lunch or dinner you're after, choose from a wide selection of classic, select, or premium sandwiches that are all made specifically to order. Serving a crowd, Subway also has sandwich platters, giant subs, box lunches, and even cookie platters. Be it dine in or carry out, you can eat healthy and eat fresh at Subway. 368 Catawba Avenue in Harrigan and on the corner of the Village Square Mall, Middlesboro. You love your car or truck? Let us help you keep it clean at Soapy J. Soapy J's has unlimited wash plans to fit every budget. Try our $5 express wash or one of our 3 monthly wash plans. The Wheel Deal, the Soapy J, or the new Blast Wax. With our monthly wash plans, if you pay with credit card, all you do is pay for the present month and your card will be billed on the 1st of each month. Don't forget, Soapy J's has free vacuums with any wash. Soapy J's Express Car Wash, open 7 days a week. Let us help keep your car or truck clean at Soapy J. Soapy J's on the Cumberland Gap Parkway, Middlesboro. Their institutional case good or architectural woodwork. Nolan Products Incorporated of Knoxville has been serving East Tennessee, Southwest Virginia, and Southeast Kentucky since 1958. From concept to finish, Nolan Products custom builds to the highest quality standards to meet your facility specifications while using only the finest materials available. Nolan Products has been serving and meeting the needs and requirements of general contractors and architects in East Tennessee and surrounding area for more than 55 years. Nolan Products Incorporated, 912 Forsyth Street Northeast, Knoxville.
Welcome back to the show. Last Friday and Saturday, the Lady Railsplitter volleyball team returned to the Mary E. Mars Gymnasium for 2 of less than a handful of home matches remaining on the 2015 schedule when they played host to Queen's University and Catawba College. On Friday evening, the LMU women were looking to snap a 2-match losing streak when they hosted the Royals of Queen's University. Despite senior Casey Mincy setting the school record for digs in a career during the match and the Lady Railsplitters rolling over the Royals in the opening set 25-14, Queens was to come out with the celebration as they came back to win the match 3-2 with a 25-23 victory in set 2, a 21-25 loss in set 3, and 25-21 and 15-10 wins in sets 4 and 5 to capture their second victory of the season over Lincoln Memorial. Saturday afternoon's match with Catawba started much as Friday's did for the LMU women, with the Lady Railsplitters rolling out an impressive 25-15 win in the opening set. However, this time Jenny Michaels' club didn't take their foot off the gas. Although sets 2 and 3 were much closer for LMU, for only the 5th time this season, Lincoln Memorial closed out their opponent, in this case Catawba, in straight sets, narrowly edging the Indians 25-15 in both sets 2 and 3 to capture the win and to snap a 3-match losing streak that dated back to their October 17th loss to Lenore Rhine in Hickory, North Carolina.
Yeah, I was having a little deja vu moment because it's happened to us, unfortunately, several times this year where we have started off strong the first set and we've kind of, maybe taken some teams by surprise, but then we've been complacent and other teams have woken up, and it's been a really bad combination of us making too many mistakes and then other teams waking up and earning points, and we haven't been able to win a match. So we talked last night about the fact that, look, it takes 3 sets to win and that we need to come in and play every set like it's the first set. And so that was the focus in between each set tonight, other than our beautiful pink little dancers that we had, the cute little nuggets that were doing their routine. That was fantastic. Other than spectating that for a little bit, we communicated before we got back out on the court that, hey, clear in your mind. It's score 0-0 right now in sets and on, the individual game, and that we need to be the first team to 5. We played many games of 5 trying to achieve that 25 goal, and we did a better job of that tonight.
Tuesday evening, the Lady Railsplitters played host to arch rival and league-leading Carson-Newman University while trying to snap a 3-match losing streak to the Eagles that dated back to 2014. Carson-Newman entered their final regular season meeting with LMU at 14-1 in the conference standings and tied with Wingate University for a share of the #1 position in the league with only 7 matches remaining on the 2015 regular schedule. Tied for first or not, there was no denying the Lady Railsplitters Tuesday evening as Lincoln Memorial came out with guns blazing by picking up where they left off on Saturday against Catawba and steamrolling Carson-Newman in the opening set 25-12 before rolling to their 6th straight sets victory of the year by dropping the league's once-beaten Eagles in the final 2 sets 25-20 and 25-17 to improve to 11-11 on the year and 8-8 in the South Atlantic Conference. After the match, again, we talked with head coach Jenny Michael.
Had such a great crowd on our weekday matches, and tonight was no exception. I mean, we had the zombie apocalypse out there. We had the Halloween costume. Like, it was fun to be a college student athlete tonight. It was fun to be an athlete on the floor playing. It was fun to be in the stands. It was fun to be a spectator, especially for the home team. This was a great experience, and this is what these young ladies, come here for to be a part of. I mean, as coaches we've talked about, getting caught up in wins and losses and stuff like that, and it's really more about the experience. And tonight was a great experience for our young ladies on the team, but for also the student population here at LMU. Tonight was a great night.
Tuesday night's victory over Carson-Newman propelled the Lady Railsplitters into a 4-way tie for 4th place in the conference standings with Tusculum, Catawba, and Anderson. With 6 matches now remaining on the regular season schedule, although the LMU women are tied for 4th, in reality, they trail Tusculum by a half game after their loss to the Pioneers in Greenville several weeks ago. They are even with Catawba after splitting regular season play with the Indians, and then they have a half-game lead on the Trojans of Anderson with their final regular season matchup this Saturday in Anderson, South Carolina. And good luck to the Lady Railsplitters in that endeavor. All right, we're going to let's move over to cross country now. Saturday morning, all 12 schools throughout the South Atlantic Conference brought their men's and women's cross-country teams and a host of fans to nearby Pineville, Kentucky for the 2015 SAC Cross Country Championship. The event, hosted by Lincoln Memorial for the first time ever, was held at Wasiota Winds Golf Course and featured a 5K run for the women, while the men ran an 8K course, with both events geared to determine who would earn team and individual championship awards for the 2015 season. In the women's race, which got underway at 9 a.m., Queen's Katie Bird cruised to victory to grab individual medalist honors, finishing more than 23 seconds ahead of her closest competition in a time of 18:17.1. Wingate's Alyssa Johnson and Sam Herring finished 2nd and 3rd respectively with times of 18:40.6 and 18:56.6, while Anderson's Olivia Garner took 4th place with a time of 18:58 flat. Lincoln Memorial's Whitney Elliott rounded out the top 5 in a time of 18:59.6 and led the Lady Railsplitter effort, which finished with a combined team running time of 1:42.34.50, good enough for 6th place in the event. Elliott was also named to the All-SAC first team, while teammate Uriah Thomas earned SAC All-Freshman Team honors for the season. Wingate University took the top award with a combined time of 1:35.38.80, while Queens took 2nd in 1:37.17.30. Anderson placed 3rd in 1:38.13.20. Carson-Newman finished 4th with a time of 1:41.59.10, and Coker College captured 5th with a time of 1:42.27.70. Catawba, Mars Hill, Lenore Rhine, Tusculum, Brevard, and Newberry completed the back half of the field. And the men's race was dominated by Mars Hill's Alex Griggs, who crossed the finish line more than 20 seconds ahead of his next closest competitor. Griggs ran the 8K event with a time of 25:08.2 and defeated Queens' Yannick Stube, who took 2nd place with 25:18.8. Wingate's Napoleon Patel crossed the tape in 25:13.6 to take third place, while Mars Hill's David Jones took fourth in 25:30.6, and Queens' Jimmy Hollingsworth completed the top 5 in 25:38.6. LMU's Blaine Benitez and Jorge Hernandez were named to the All-SAC Honorable Mention team for their efforts during the 2015 season. Probably the biggest upset of the race came when Queens University captured the championship title. The Royals dethroned the Lions of Mars Hill, who had won the event for nearly the past 2 decades, 20 years, folks, by putting all 5 of their runners in the top 10 and finishing with a combined time of 2 hours, 9 minutes, 42 seconds, .40. The Lions didn't finish far off that pace, however, as Mars Hill's combined time of 2 hours, 10 minutes, 3 seconds was good enough to take second place. Anderson University took third in a time of 2:15:46:10, while Lincoln Memorial captured fourth in 2:16:31:40, and Wingate University took fifth place in 2:15:46:90. Both cross-country teams now have until November 7th to prepare for the upcoming NCAA regional meet to be held this year in Wingate, North Carolina. And the Lincoln Memorial University women's soccer team suffered another loss over the weekend. Saturday afternoon, the Lady Railsplitters traveled down to Anderson, South Carolina to take on the Trojans of Anderson University and were upended 2-0 by AU. Although the shots for the match were even with 13 apiece and the Lady Railsplitters did place 3 shots on goal, the Trojans were able to put their two of their 4 shots into the frame to capture the 2-0 win. Now 4-8-3 overall and 2-6-2 in the South Atlantic Conference, the Lady Railsplitters need to defeat Catawba this Saturday in their regular season finale in order to qualify for this year's conference tournament, which only takes the top 8 teams of the 12 in the league. If the LMU women win Saturday's match with the Indians, they would still be on the road in the quarterfinal round of the tournament and would most likely play either Wingate University or Carson-Newman University on Tuesday, November 3rd. Saturday's match against Catawba gets underway at 1 p.m. at the LMU Soccer Complex. And the Lincoln Memorial University men's soccer team took another step Saturday towards hosting the first round of the upcoming SAC tournament as one of the top 4 seeds when it traveled to Anderson, South Carolina and knocked off the Trojans 2-1 in conference play. The Trojans took the upper hand early in the match when Lars Calda scored on a penalty kick to give Anderson the lead in only the 7th minute. The tying goal came from LMU's Danilo da Silva in the 36th minute when the Trojan defense turned over the ball and da Silva used the mistake to score his 3rd goal of the season. With the match even now, LMU used the offensive momentum to their advantage and again struck quickly when freshman Philip Wong scored on a cross by da Silva, who had made a long run down the side of the Trojan defensive effort. Wong's shot on goal gave the Railsplitters the lead in the 37th minute, and then the LMU defense proved to be rock solid the remainder of the match, with goalkeeper Pedro Ozzie notching 4 saves during the 90 minutes of play. Now 9-3-1 overall and 6-3-1 in the South Atlantic Conference, the Railsplitters are presently in 3rd place of the league standings with Saturday's home conference match against Catawba all that stands between them and hosting the quarterfinal round match of the SAC tournament, which gets underway November 3rd. Saturday's match with the Indians, by the way, is set for a 3:30 start here in Harrogate. And earlier this week, the Lincoln Memorial University men's golf team edged 4 of the nation's top 25 programs to finish tied for 8th place in the 2015 McDonough Cup, which wrapped up on Tuesday afternoon in Rio Pinar Country Club in Orlando, Florida. Rollins College hosted the 54-hole tournament, which consisted of 22 teams, 16 of which were ranked inside the top 40 nationally, and 123 golfers. The Railsplitters shot rounds of 286, 288, and 285 to finish with a 5-under par total 859 and to tie with Mount Olive College for 8th place overall. Lincoln Memorial fell just a stroke behind 2015 NCAA Division II national champion Nova Southeastern, who took 7th place at 6 under par. The Railsplitters beat out 6th-ranked Barry University, the 2013 and 14 national champion, by 2 strokes. Additionally, Lincoln Memorial finished ahead of number 24 Rollins, number 18 Carson Newman, and number 21 Cal Baptist, who placed 11th, 13th, and 14th respectively. Lynn University rode in an unbelievable 19 under par round of 269 in Tuesday's final race to come away with the McDonough Cup title, posting a 28 under par team score of 836 for the tournament. That was 15 strokes better than any other team in the competition, as Flagler was the runner-up with a 13 under par total of 851. West Florida finished third at 12 under par for the event, while Florida Southern finished fourth, and top billed St. Leo rounded out the top 5. All right, that's all we have in terms of last week's events. We're going to take a brief time out. When we come back, we'll talk women's basketball with LMU head women's basketball coach Krystal Evans. It's when we return here on the Railsplitter Athletics Report.
In 1982, Dixie Roofing Incorporated of La Follette has been the industry's leader in commercial roofing throughout Knoxville, Tennessee, and surrounding counties for more than 30 years. From medical facilities to office buildings and educational institutions, Dixie Roofing has the experience, expertise, equipment, and know-how to handle roofing needs of any commercial structure, big or small. Dixie Roofing is also on the web at www.dixieroofing.com. Dixie Roofing Incorporated.
They told me a bottle couldn't dream. That I would never become a superhero. But I learned how to fly. Just to come back in a new disguise and be the hero that I've always wanted to be.
Everywhere that we go, he makes people laugh and makes people smile, and I feel like I have that quality.
He's the one who always takes me fishing.
I watch golf with him. And
I watch him cook, because when I grow up, I want to be a cook too.
We have the same faces like this.
Dad is the one, when you fall, that picks you up.
That unconditional sense of presence and reassurance is really what makes him my father.
Welcome back to the Railsplitter Athletics Report. You know, with all that's been going on in terms of Lincoln Memorial University athletics, the SAC cross-country championship last week, the soccer teams in full swing, volleyball team in full swing, it's easy to put things on the back burner, and that's kind of what's happened with women's basketball. And my apologies to you, Coach. We wanted to have you on a week or two ago, but with everything going on, we had to push you back. And your practice schedule has been going on now officially from the NCAA standpoint for a couple, 3 weeks now, but in reality, I know you've gone through individual workouts and some conditioning for quite some time.
Right, we've got a new group of young ladies, and I'm excited about this season, and I won't hold it against you too much that you put us on the back burner. Actually, it's given us a little bit more time for me to get familiar with our team, and that way maybe it gave me an extra week so I can talk a little bit more educatedly, or if that's a word.
Well, it is now. I don't know if it is or not, but it is now. I'll use that. Giving you full credit.
If I can talk a little bit more knowledgeably about my team. There we go.
Well, I mean, it takes time, especially when you've got as many newcomers as you have this year. But before we talk about those newcomers, let's talk a little bit about your returners, because I know that you've got a pretty solid returning foundation.
I do. Right now, at the 5 spot, we've got Josie returning, we've got Keisha returning. Both of them have worked really hard over the summertime, and Josie's coming off an ankle surgery from the summer, and she's doing great. She's really rehabbed, and she looks amazing. Keisha's been really busting her tail over the summertime and has gotten in good shape, and I'm expecting big things out of her. So right there with our returners, with our 5 position and our 4 position, we've got Courtney Cox, who's still, that injury from last year with her wrist is still nagging her a little bit, but she's coming on. And then we got Megan Pittman, who actually really slimmed up this summer. She was doing CrossFit all summer, and she's just in great shape, probably the best shape that she's been in her entire life, and we're really expecting big things out of her. We've got Sydney Anderson at the 3 position returning, and she's coming on the offensive end more and more. She's I think our system's kind of clicked with her, and she's really making strides, and I think she's going to be a big key for us this season. And then we've got Shay Coker returning as well as a shooter, and Ross Mathis as the point guard, along with Brittany Guy also playing point. And she's really had a good summer, been showing really well. And then we've got, finishing our senior class, we've got Kiara Rawls back, who was one of our leading scorers last season as well. And she's broke her finger, but she's mending nicely, and she's really doing well in practice, and she's really kind of establishing herself as a leader. So I'm very pleased with our returners coming back.
You've got a lot of returners, obviously, and a lot of those were starters from a year ago. Another player that I'm really kind of curious about, because I don't know what the status is. Jasmine Kelly is somebody who is also returning from an injury, but somebody that I thought 2 years ago was really athletic, somebody that maybe on down the road, as they get more mature, they get more experience on the floor, could be a real asset.
She is returning. I actually consider her to be a new player because I didn't get to watch her. You know, she redshirted last year, but she's doing great. She's came off her ACL injury. About as good as anybody can. She's 100%. She don't have to wear a knee brace anymore. And I'm learning more and more each day what she can do. And she's really quick off of first step. And she has a great mid-range game that we're really going to tap into a lot this season. And she's really showing a lot of heart and leadership into this year. So I'm also expecting things out of Jasmine, but I kind of wanted her to be a little bit of a secret weapon, okay?
Gotcha. Well, the secret's out now. Inside game, when you look at Josie Harding, you look at Keisha, and then basically the 2-3 spot there with I'm drawing a blank. Megan Pittman. Very solid inside game right there for the most part. You can look at the guards. I mean, Shay Coker. I mean, she's a knockdown guard.
She is. Yeah.
Ross Mathis, somebody who's a little spark plug. She comes in. It seems like the further she gets away from the rim, the more accurate she is when she lets one go. Brittany Guy is somebody who adds a different kind of look to the point position. Kiara can run that, but I like your returners.
I do.
Now, I don't know anything about your newcomers. Tell us about it.
Okay. All right. Well, I've got two set of twins, Rachel and Emily, from Oliver Springs, and they're both, they can play the 1 or 2, so they're very versatile.
You're trying to make my life difficult, aren't you, with twins? I mean, it's going to be hard enough for me
Identical.
Oh, great. Thank you so much.
It's, in practice, we just call them twin. I'm trying to make sure that I can see a difference, but they've fooled me multiple times now. But they're very gritty, smart, very fundamentally sound players, and I think they're going to be solid for us as they continue to adjust and make the transition from high school to college. I've also got Blake Lamb, who was Player of the Year out of Granger High School, and again, I think she's going to do big things for us. She's got a little bit more depth in that position, playing behind Megan Pittman and Courtney Cox and in that 4 position, but I think she's going to come on and again make that transition very nicely for us from high school to college. I got Dallas Warren from Asheville, North Carolina. She's about 6'2", 6'3". She says she's 6'3". I think she's really 6'2". But anyhow, she's going to add a little depth behind Josie and Keisha for us in our 5 position. And I've got Carson Sims, who's a transfer from Coastal Carolina, and she's from Gatlinburg-Pittman. And Carson was actually a freshman on the all-freshman team in the Big South Conference her freshman year at Coastal. She adds a little bit more experience being a transfer. However, she does have 3 years left. And I think she's going to do great things for us at that 1-2 spot as well. Also, we've got Brooke Taylor, who we're sharing right now with soccer. And she's a great athlete. I think she's going to contribute a little bit at the 3. And we've got Brianna Marsh, who is from Michigan, and she's going to add a little bit for us at the 2 position.
Coach, that's a lot of players. It's going to be hard to find a lot of playing time for those individuals.
I had to think about. I was going through making sure I hit each one of them, but the playing time's going to come. But right now, with the depth, I'm just more excited because last year we were struggling at the end of the season through injuries and stuff, and this year I made daggone sure we're not going to be in that position again.
Well, I tell you what, she's got so many players, we've already covered the full segment, if you can believe that. Coach, we want to wish you the best of luck. We're going to have you on again soon so that we can talk about what you feel the biggest challenges of this team are going to be. But we're looking forward to seeing the Lady Railsplitters hit the floor, and again, good luck.
Great, thank you.
Lady Railsplitters get action here in early November. We'll take a timeout, and we'll be right back.
The Old Town Grill is a special place where you bring more than family, more than friends. Bring a hearty appetite, because at the Old Town Grill, you'll never walk away hungry. A delicious change from the ordinary. The perfect place to bring the entire family. The best food and plenty of it. Join the fun and treat your appetite to something special.
It's the OTG.
The OTG is the place to be.
Join the Vive Broadband TV revolution. Vive gives you the freedom to choose with loads of new channels like Up TV, The Hub, The Blaze, and Cubo. Vive's Watch TV Everywhere feature gives you the freedom to watch participating channels just about anywhere, anytime, on any device. And Vive Broadband Speed gives you the freedom to power internet TV services like Netflix, Hulu, Apple TV, and Google Chromecast. Join the TV revolution at vivebroadband.com.
If I got to go to college, oh my goodness. I like discovering new things. You get to see what works for you and what doesn't. That helps you evolve as a person. And you get to make like a supernova of skill or talent or whatever it is. I've always wanted to go to college. I just feel like that's my destiny. My name is Queen, and I am your dividend.
Special thanks to Coach Evans for joining us on this week's show, and she and her Lady Railsplitters will be in action and literally mid-November, as the season is just a couple of weeks away. And we're looking forward to Lady Railsplitter basketball just as much as we are Railsplitter basketball. Don't forget tonight, though, however, we'll have our final high school football game of the week on our sister station WLMU 91.3 FM as the Hampton Bulldogs battle the Cumberland Gap Panthers, and that's going to be a cat and dog fight, so to speak. Brandon Burke will have the call. I think pregame coverage starts at 6 o'clock. Kickoff is at 7:30, so join them again, WLMU 91.3 FM, where you can get the call. Now, tomorrow night in the Tex Turner Arena, it's the annual Halloween Havoc. There you see the graphic we've got for it. A lot going on, 6 to 8 p.m. Bring the kids out, enjoy the trick-or-treating, giveaways, photo booth. I think they're going to have a Halloween contest. I'm assuming that's a costume contest. Maybe some autographs from the LMU basketball players and much more. I think the LMU men's team is actually going to have somewhat of an impromptu dunk contest tomorrow night, so that should be something else. But a lot of the LMU student athletes will be there, the athletics department, and there'll be a lot going on. It's always a great time. It's a festive type atmosphere. So, hey, come on in costume if you want. I heard a rumor that the Railsplitter might be there tomorrow night. I'm not going to tell you any more about that. You'll have to be there to see. Until next week, good night, everybody.